So this tire's flat, and it's hard to check for leaks when the tire's flat. You can see that soaping up real good. AME tire valve tool, item number is 51025. And when you pull this, it's gonna just pop that thing out. What's going on, guys? Do you have a tire at the house with a leaky valve stem? Whether it's on your trailer, your lawnmower, or your Jeep, I'm gonna show you in this episode a quick, easy way that you can just do it at the house and be done with it. You don't have to go down to the shop, waste 2 to 3 hours of your time. You can just change it at the house by yourself without taking the tire off and get you back on the road or back mowing that grass. So stay tuned. All right, so you got a lawnmower or a trailer or even a vehicle that you don't use very often. It sits for a week or more at a time. You come out to use it, the tire's low, okay? It could be your valve stem. Now, verify that it is the valve stem leaking and not something else before you get into this job. And I'll show you real quick how you can do it at home and just see if that's the problem. So let's check it out real quick. All right, so the way I always check mine for leaks is, one, you wanna make sure you got air in the tire. Then get you some, I like Dawn dish soap or any kind of dish soap, or hand soap would work too. I use a spray bottle, mix it with a little bit of water. Just, you know, need a few drops of dish soap in there, fill it up with water, shake it up, and it'll give you a nice soapy solution. It'll show some leaks. So this tire's flat, and it's hard to check for leaks when the tire's flat. So to verify that it's your valve stem actually leaking, make sure you top it off with some air, and then we'll get right into the leak check. All right, so when you spray this with your soap, make sure you don't just spray the base, spray down in here, keep that cap off, and see if it's the valve core inside leaking. Sometimes these will go bad. That's easy to replace, and during this process, you'll see how we take that out. Just in case, you can just replace the core and not the whole stem. So take your soap, just spray it around the base, spray it inside that core, and you can see that soaping up real good, and you'll be able to see those leaks. So what you're looking for, as you can see on mine, right there, you can see the air just coming out. See them bubbles. Sometimes if you bend the stem, it'll get worse, but you can see it's just blub, 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 blub. That's a problem. First thing you want to do is get this valve core out of here. So I'll show you the tools you need and we'll get right into this process. All right, so to do this process, the one thing you'll need is this kit right here. And there's different kits like this on Amazon or eBay or wherever you want to buy it at. This is the AME tire valve tool. Item number is 51025. And this comes with almost everything you need to change it out. So it's got the install tool, the remove tool, it's got a couple valve stems in there to replace if this is your size valve stem. It does not come with like a tool to remove the valve core, okay? So if you want to just buy this kit only, that's fine. You can use a screwdriver to push that core in and release the air, or a pick or something like that. But if you have a lot of vehicles or trailers, or you have a lawn care business or something, and you might be dealing with this where you're knocking the valve stem off quite a bit, let me show you something else that you can pick up on Amazon for cheap. It was 10 bucks, and let me show you what you get with that. All right, so this kit right here is a different kit that I bought on Amazon for 10 bucks. You get all this here, which is useful if you just need these or the valve cores or whatever. What comes in it is 3 different size valve stems, which is nice. So if you have a shorty or you want a shorty, or yours has the longer version on it, you have those options. It comes with valve cores, so if it's just your valve core leaking, you could change that. New valve stem caps, these fall off all the time. You got replacements. It comes with, this is kind of what you're missing out of this kit here, is the valve core removal tools. And this kit, for 10 bucks, you get all this stuff. It comes with 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Essentially, this, I count this as 1, but it actually has 2 different size tools, which is nice. And this is also a stem install kit. Now, how this works is you would have to break the tire down, put the stem in from the inside, hook this on, and pull that through, okay? So if you have the means to break the bead and get in there, and this might be the only kit that you need. Now, if you don't want to take the tire off, this is the kit that you want. And like I said, you don't have to have these tools to take the valve core out. You can use a screwdriver, or even like, see, this has a pick on the end. You could push that in. If you had a pick, you could just push on that valve core. And if you're doing that, in case you're not familiar, you just want to push right on the center, right there, push that down, and that'll release the air. It's going to take a lot longer doing it that way, but it'll get it out of there. So this kit is nice to have for 10 bucks. This kit here is 30 bucks. Really, you could buy all this for 40 bucks if you wanted to, and then you have plenty of replacements for down the road, depending on, you know, how much you're gonna do something like this. All right, so in this kit right here, the one we're focusing on today, I'll show you what's inside and kind of how you use it. So it comes with 2 valve stems in this size right here, which is like a medium. It comes with this rod right here. It's threaded on one end, male on one end, female on the other. The handle screws on like so. Let me get that on there. It comes with this hook, which is how you get the valve core out, and it comes with this funnel piece that you can see is tapered on the end right there, and that'll let it sit in that wheel nice, and I'll show you how to go ahead and install that. First thing we're going to need out of this kit is this J-hook right here with the T-handle. Now you want to make sure when you're doing this the position of this J-hook in relation to this T-handle. So what I'll probably do is take my Sharpie and put a little mark on this side right here, knowing that my hook is on this end, and that'll help you here in a second when I go over here to the wheel, and we'll show you how to get it in there and how to get the valve stem out. So let's check it out. All right, so I went ahead and marked my T-handle with my Sharpie here, so I know the hook is on this end. So what you're going to do is we'll soap this up again. You're going to push this in alongside of the valve stem, and it's going to just kind of wiggle it and push it in until it pops into the wheel. It's going to go all the way in, and you're going to want to rotate this to where that hook is on the bottom of the stem, and essentially it's going to hook right in the center. And here's the one that's already removed. So you're going to slide in like this. It's going to turn, and it's going to hook right in there, and when you pull this, it's going to just pop that thing out and be out of your way. But first thing you do is take the air out, because you don't want to go yanking that out, because it could blow the stem right in your face or knock an eyeball out. So be careful. So let's get the air out of it. Just come right in here with your tool. Lefty loosey. Boom. Let that drain. All right, so what you're going to want to do is go ahead and soap up the base of this real good. Soap up your hook tool real good. And if you have the Dawn soap, you could probably even just put just a little bit on, boom, right there like that. That way that could slip in there real good. And you want to go right between the wheel and the valve stem. And this part is a little tough, and you kind of want to work it. Sorry, the camera's in the way. I hope I don't knock it over. But you want to just try to get down in there. Let me adjust the camera here. Try a little hammer. That worked a lot better. That was a little tighter than usual. So now that you got your mark on here on the T-handle, you know where that hook is. So you want to push this way into the wheel. You want to turn it so it's facing the valve stem. You pull it up, and you'll feel it kind of hook that valve stem. So now we're hooked, and now you should be able to just pull that, give it a good tug, and it should just come right out. You might have to work it a little bit. Boom, that's it. You can see it's hooked right into the end, and it pulled it out, and we got the end piece off. It didn't break or anything like that, so that's a good removal right there. So let me show you what we got to do next. All right, now your valve stem's out. We took it off the hook tool. What you're going to want to do is line it up. If you bought this kit here, you could probably use a shorty if you didn't have this kit here, or whatever comes in the kit, you know. But since I have it, I'm going to line it up with the one. That one's too short. Right here, that's what we're looking at. This medium one, which actually turns out to be the same one that came in this kit, so worked out for me this time. So you're obviously not going to use this to install it. This is a removal only. And I just want to mention that if you have TPMS in your vehicle, a lot of newer vehicles have the sensor monitors. So if you can see air pressures from the driver's seat, then you're going to have a sensor in there that's attached to this, and you cannot use this method to remove those kinds of valve stems. This is for older vehicles, lawnmowers, trailers, things like that. So I just want to mention that real quick. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this tool. This is your install tool here, along with this tool and your valve stem that you're going to use. So you take the cap off, and this will screw right onto the end, like so. We've already put the handle on. You see me do that earlier. What you're going to want to do is soap up the inside of this and soap this up really good, because once you line this up with your wheel, with that piece there that's got the taper on it, okay, you're going to line that up. This will slide in, and it's going to push all the way through the wheel, and this essentially will go inside the rim, okay? And then when you pull it back out, you can see this has a little bit of a taper, and this is where your wheel sits, right in that little lip, and that's what seals it. This will be on the bottom on the inside of the rim, this will be on the outside, and right there's your sealing surface. So you want to make sure you clean up your wheel where this sits. Once you pull your old one out, go in and clean it up real good so that you get a good seal after you install this. So I'm going to go ahead and go back over to the wheel. We'll get this soaped up and this soaped up. I'm going to soap up this side also, just this whole thing, so when I pull that out, it's easier to pull out too. So let's go back over to the wheel. All right, guys, we got this all cleaned up in here. We got our tools all set up like we did over there on the bench. We're going to put a little bit, I'll just put a little bit there so it gets on that lip, okay? You're going to soak in here. I'm just going to use the spray for this. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the Dawn dish soap and just put it right on the end of that, okay? And then use my fingers and just kind of move it around, get it on the top there. So now that's nice and soaped up. And that should go in nice. Also, you might need this rubber or dead blow, or you can just use your hand to push it in or smack it or whatever. So take that tapered end, and now we sprayed the soap in there. Just make sure you got plenty in there. Stick it right on there, nice and lined up. You're going to slide this in now that it's all soaped up. Push it in as far as you can get it, and it might go all the way. You might get lucky, but I don't want to jam it in there all the way. I'm going to use this little rubber face hammer and just tap it. A few taps, boom, popped right in like that. Now that's in all the way, you can see. So what you're going to do is you can slide this out of the way if you want, and you're going to nice and straight, just pull up, not too hard, just boop. You can see it pop in, work it around a little bit, unscrew your tool. New valve stem in there. So the core is already in this. The ones that come with the kit, if that's the ones you're using, it already has a core in it also. I would just double check and make sure that the core is tight, and it is. So now we'll go ahead and put some air on this, service it to whatever your tire calls for. You can look right on the side of your tire and it'll give you the pressures, or look in your owner's manual and that'll tell you the pressures on your vehicle. So we'll get this serviced up to where it needs to be, spray it, make sure we're not leaking, and see if we can get back on the road. All right, so we'll just spray our soap on here real good, spray it around the base, spray it in the core. Okay, and we're looking for leaks, any bubbles forming. Don't see any. You can move your stem around a little, make sure that doesn't do anything. Make sure you spray it inside that core. I don't see anything bubbling out of there. All right, this looks good and leak free, so we'll take our cap, jam it back on there, and this thing should be ready to go. All right, get the cap on. This spare is ready to go. So now I know if I get a flat out there, this spare isn't going to be flat. It's going to be ready to go. I checked the leaks. I did it myself. Saved me some time, because by the time you take your tire off your lawnmower, your trailer, whatever, take it down to a shop, pay them to do it, bring it back, install it, you're talking 2-3 hours, depending on even how far away you are from a shop. You might be way out in the middle of nowhere and not have quick access to a shop. So this will definitely save you some time, and doing it yourself, you know it's good, you know it's leak-free, and it's pretty satisfying doing things yourself sometimes, right? So, and learning something new is always fun. So this will get your trailer back on the road and your lawnmower back mowing the grass a lot quicker than having to go down to a shop. So the only side note I have is make sure you have a rubber hammer or a dead blow. It definitely makes it easier to knock that hook tool in or the valve stem in. Soaping everything up real good also helps, but that tool, taking that rubber hammer and just tapping it in, you don't need to kill it, you just tap it in, makes it go a lot faster. So as in all the videos, I appreciate each and every one of you watching. If you could like, share the video with your friends, that'd be great. Subscribe to the channel. I'm doing stuff like this, tech tips and things like that all the time, and car shows and whatnot. So stay tuned for more videos, and thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next one.